The startling reality behind the Chiefs' dynasty no one dares to discuss. This one player could single-handedly determine whether Kansas City's championship window remains ajar or slams shut for good. What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Before we dissect this earth-shattering revelation that could completely reshape everything you thought you knew about our red and gold dynasty, I need 3 lightning-fast favors. Obliterate that like button if you're ready for unfiltered truth about our future. Sound off in the comments, type W if you still believe this dynasty has fuel left in the tank, or L if you're beginning to lose faith. Hit subscribe and smash the notification bell, because what I'm about to reveal could be the most pivotal moment in the Chiefs' modern era. Now, let me paint a picture that might make your heart sink. It's February 2025. Another team is hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, and the Chiefs, watching from the couch. Painful, right? We've lived this before. And the warning sirens are blaring louder than Arrowhead on a Sunday night. Think back to that agonizing Super Bowl loss to the Eagles. That wasn't just a bad game. It was a siren blast that echoed through the halls of One Arrowhead Drive. The franchise felt the humiliation, the sting, the hunger to reassert dominance. And guess what? They responded like true champions. But here's where it gets intense, and why you need to ride with me through this entire breakdown. After getting dismantled by Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in 2021, Brett Veach and the Chiefs front office went nuclear. They didn't just make moves, they made statements. Contracts were restructured, elite talent was acquired, draft picks were executed with surgical precision. They constructed a juggernaut, built to terrorize the league for years. Fast forward to today, and the vibe is different this offseason. The Chiefs have been cautious, some might even say restrained. While rival franchises are tossing cash like it's raining at a championship parade, Kansas City's been strategic, deliberate. But don't confuse patience with passivity. There's purpose behind the pause. Because when you're sitting atop the NFL mountain, every decision becomes a high-stakes chess move. One misstep, one mis-signing, one contract fumble, and you're not just slipping, you're free-falling. And that's why the Chiefs' recent $94 million 0-cents extension with Pro Bowl right guard Trey Smith isn't just a nice deal. It's a strategic thunderclap. But here's the real bombshell. That deal, it's just Act 1 in a much larger drama. Behind closed doors at Arrowhead, the next name dominating every conversation is Trent McDuffie. Now hold up. Don't scroll. Don't assume this is just another contract negotiation. This isn't just about money. This is about the very soul of the Chiefs' next championship chapter. Earlier this week, Jet star Sauce Gardner inked a deal that shattered the cornerback market. His extension didn't just bump numbers. It set a league-wide precedent. If you want to keep generational defensive talent, you better come armed with elite-level cash. Suddenly, the Chiefs find themselves standing on the edge of a cliff, forced to make a decision that could define the next decade. ESPN's Nate Taylor didn't just hint at an extension. He dropped a code red warning. The clock is ticking and the implications are seismic. The question isn't should they pay McDuffie, the real question is can they afford not to? And that's what most fans miss about the modern NFL. It's not about having good players, it's about having the right players at the right moment for the right price. And Trent McDuffie, he's more than good. He's indispensable. Let's rewind to April 2022. He made his return in Week 13 versus the Raiders, contributing modestly across the final 6 games. His postseason production, including 9 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and a sack, added some momentum. But advanced analytics paint a more sobering picture. According to Pro Football Focus, PFF, Omenehu earned a pass rush grade of 60.1, ranking 105th out of 211 edge defenders, and a run defense grade of 63.5, 83rd overall, valued at approximately $7,300,000 0 cents over 4 years, or $1,800,000 0 cents annually per spot track. His price tag could still be steep given the inconsistency. If he commands a similar contract elsewhere, Kansas City may be forced to fill that void through the NFL draft. Kelsey's emotional crossroads and a strategic pivot at tight end. The Chiefs' devastating Super Bowl loss has done more than expose schematic flaws. It's reopened internal conversations about succession, particularly at the tight end position. A visibly emotional Travis Kelce recently appeared on the New Heights podcast, further underscoring the uncertainty surrounding his future as he approaches the twilight of a Hall of Fame-worthy 13-year career. With Kelsey's potential retirement looming, the Chiefs face mounting pressure to protect their offensive edge. While many draft analysts expect Kansas City to address the offensive line with their 31 pick, Jordan Plosher of PFF proposes a different strategy. Invest in Kelsey's successor now. Enter Colston Loveland, the Michigan tight end who averaged 2.67 yards per route run and earned a stellar 90.6 PFF receiving grade in 2024. That level of conviction demands several assumptions. That Mahomes sustains elite form deep into his late 30s, that the front office artfully navigates fiscal landmines, and that the ever-shifting landscape of the NFL doesn't veer into chaos over the next decade. But here's the real story beneath the surface. The true takeaway from this firestorm of debate: Chiefs' kingdom is divided. And that division is a direct reflection of a deeper truth, a rising anxiety about whether this dynasty can endure. When you win at the highest level, a different pressure takes root. Not just the expectation to win, but to repeat, to surpass, to sustain. Every coaching decision, every roster cut, every play call is now under the microscope. The coaching staff must continue innovating offensively within shrinking fiscal confines. The front office faces agonizing choices. Which stars to extend, which legends to let go. And the players themselves must bear the burden of dynasty expectations while knowing that championship windows are fleeting, fragile, and closing faster than most realize. The Brady comparison serves both as inspiration and warning. Yes, 7 rings is the gold standard, a career of historic longevity and triumph, but even Brady required optimal rosters, organizational genius, and some fortunate timing across 2 franchises. His late career run with Tampa Bay proves both sides right. You can win into your 40s if you're great enough, but you must be surrounded by a championship infrastructure or it doesn't matter. Y'all better strap in because what I'm about to reveal is going to send shockwaves through the entire NFL universe. This ain't your run-of-the-mill locker room chatter. This is championship tier drama that's got me fired up and locked in. Stay with me until the very end because I'm dropping some cold, hard truth that every single Chiefs fan needs to hear. Drop a W in the comments if you still believe in the kingdom. Drop an L if you think the dynasty is slipping. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button while you're at it. Now listen closely, because what we've got brewing in the NFL right now has more plot twists than a primetime thriller. And I'm here to break it all down for you. By jaw-dropping steps. See, I've been around this league long enough to know when somebody's blowing smoke, and right now, Miami is lighting up the sky with delusional fireworks. There's a certain wide receiver down in South Beach who's been flapping his gums like he's already got next year's Lombardi trophy sitting on his nightstand. Now, don't get me wrong, confidence is essential in this league. You need swagger to survive. But there's a fine line between confidence and full-blown delusion. And after hearing what this dude had to say, I started wondering if too much Florida sun is frying some brain cells. Let me remind y'all who we're talking about. The Kansas City Chiefs, not just any football team. The reigning titans of the NFL, a dynasty built on excellence, 3 consecutive Super Bowl appearances, back-to-back titles, a blueprint for sustained dominance. This empire wasn't built on hype, it was forged through brilliant drafting, tactical free agency moves, and a championship culture that breeds winners. Since 2020, no team, let me repeat, no team has reached the mountaintop more consistently than Kansas City. While others flapped their jaws about greatness, the Chiefs were out there proving it week after week. Players have come and gone, cap space has tightened, critics have chirped, yet through it all, Kansas City kept stacking wins and raising banners. That's the dividing line in this league, the difference between pretenders and certified contenders. But apparently, some folks got amnesia when it comes to recognizing greatness. Now, let's talk about this former Chiefs receiver. Yeah, the one who used to catch passes from Patrick Mahomes and bask in the glow of championship culture. He knew what it felt like to be part of a machine that wins when the lights are brightest. And now, he's in Miami, chirping like the Dolphins are about to steamroll the AFC like it's 1972 all over again. Again, I respect belief, I respect grit, but belief without results, that's just noise. Let's not forget that Miami Dolphins haven't won a single playoff game since the year 2000. Let that marinate. That's before smartphones, before social media, before half the league was even born. While Kansas City's been hoarding Lombardi trophies like collector's items, Miami's been stockpiling heartbreaks and early off-season tea times. But none of that seems to matter when a podcast mic is hot and a platform's waiting. This guy boldly declared that the Dolphins are taking the AFC, not contending. Not making a run, taking it. Like, the AFC is a clearance rack they can just scoop up at checkout. The nerve, the unfiltered audacity. You're telling me a franchise that hasn't sniffed playoff success in 2 decades is just going to waltz through a conference that includes juggernauts like Kansas City, Baltimore, and Cincinnati? Please, that's not confidence, that's a fantasy. But wait, it gets even wilder. This same whiteout had the gall to say his quarterback is the best in the league. Let me say that again, the best in the entire NFL. Now, I've heard hot takes, but this one had me checking if I was watching a comedy sketch. We talking about the same QB who's never won a playoff game? The one with more concussion scares than playoff completions? The one quarterbacking a team that's made a habit of letting fans down when it counts? Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes, the generational talent, sits comfortably in Kansas City with 2 Super Bowl rings, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and a regular season MVP. He's redefining the quarterback position while others are still trying to get through Wild Card weekend. But sure, South Beach Fantasyland says otherwise. What we're witnessing isn't just trash talk, it's a textbook case of emotional overcompensation. This receiver left greatness in Kansas City, and now he's trying to convince the world and himself that he's somehow upgraded. Well, it's like walking away from the Patriots during their dynasty and claiming the Jets are the next Super Bowl favorites, let's be honest. This exposes a deeper flaw in the mindset of certain players today. There's a vast difference between bold belief and blinding delusion, between speaking like a champ and proving you're one. The Chiefs didn't become a dynasty on accident. They didn't trip into greatness. This was a masterclass in long-term vision, built by a front office that knows how to construct a roster, coached by a legend who's been orchestrating elite football for decades. Andy Reid, he's not guessing, he's executing with precision drawn from decades of gridiron genius. And Patrick Mahomes, he's not just a quarterback, he's a phenomenon. A once-in-a-generation talent with nerves of steel and vision that cuts through defenses like a surgeon's blade. When the stakes are sky high, Mahomes rises. He's ice cold under pressure and he thrives where others crumble. Let's not forget Travis Kelce either. The most consistent and lethal tight end in the game. Reliable, a walking mismatch, the heartbeat of the offense. For years, this man has been Patrick Mahomes' ultimate safety valve, a clutch playmaker in the tensest moments, a leader in the locker room, and the embodiment of everything a championship-caliber team demands. With recent late-round picks like Noah Gray, 2021, and Jared Wiley, 2024, failing to become impact players, drafting a dynamic pass-catching talent like Loveland could offer both immediate production and long-term insurance for life after Kelce. It's a calculated move, one that aligns with Kansas City's legacy of bold but forward-thinking risk. The Ravens with Lamar Jackson. These are fully armed contenders carefully constructed around their QBs and optimized to expose every flaw in the Chiefs' blueprint. Even the recent Super Bowl loss to the Philadelphia Eagles offered a preview of what's to come. Mahomes performed brilliantly, but depth issues and superior tactical adjustments from the Eagles exposed cracks in the armor, cracks that will only widen as cap pressures intensify. This is a huge positive, indicating there's no behind-the-scenes drama or tension. Smith's presence is a clear sign he wants to remain in Kansas City long-term and is committed to preparing for the 2025 NFL season alongside his brothers in the trenches. Financially, skipping camp could have cost him around $100,000, 0 cents in fines, pocket change when compared to a potential $22, 0 cents plus million per year contract. Still, his attendance speaks volumes about his character and priorities. According to Pete Sweeney of Arrowhead Pride, while there's no certainty a deal gets finalized this week, both parties seem motivated to find a resolution. That's promising. Let's hope it gets done. Bottom line, Smith is leading with his actions, no theatrics, just focus, and that deserves respect. Pay the man. Next, Chris Jones, the self-proclaimed CEO of Sack Nation, also spoke with the media today and praised Trey's presence, acknowledging how much energy he brings to the offensive line room. He even joked that he's glad Smith isn't going about his contract situation the same way he did last year, drawing laughs from reporters. For those who recall, Jones held out of training camp, skipped week 1, and watched from the stands as the Chiefs lost to the Lions. That holdout ultimately netted him a restructured one-year deal with incentives, but not the massive extension he wanted at the time. That all changed after the season, of course, when Jones signed a record-setting deal to become the NFL's highest-paid defensive tackle. Hopefully, Trey Smith follows in those footsteps, minus the holdout. Jones also shared that his commitment to OTAs and minicamp this offseason stems from the sting of that Super Bowl defeat. It wasn't just the loss itself, but the way it happened, standing atop the mountain only to fall short. Now, he's more motivated than ever to help lead the charge back to the top. With the team reaching 3 straight Super Bowls and winning 2, this loss reignited their fire. Chris is especially excited about the defensive line's versatility this season. Many of their guys, himself included, along with Charles Menehu and Mike Dana, can line up both inside and out. That kind of flexibility is invaluable. He also praised rookie DT Omar Norman Lott, calling him an athletic guy who will be ready to roll once training camp is over. No more baby fat, in CJ's words. Notably, Norman Lott is the only Chiefs draft pick who has yet to sign his rookie deal. But don't panic, the Chiefs had just suffered a soul-crushing overtime loss to the Bengals in the AFC title game. Morale was shaken, the fan base was questioning, the magic felt like it was fading. Enter McDuffie, a relatively low-profile corner from Washington. Critics asked, why not draft a pass rusher? Why invest in defense when the offense already shines? But Brett Veach saw something rare. He saw a cornerstone, not just a cover man, but a defensive architect. And guess what? That vision paid off, and then some. McDuffie has become not just a standout corner, but the bedrock of a defense that's learned how to win games, not just survive them. Remember, those back-to-back titles in 2022 and 2023 weren't just Mahomes' miracles, they were defensive masterclasses. And anchoring that evolution was a young corner who's now among the top 5 NFL players under 25, according to Pro Football Focus. Not just top 5 among cornerbacks, not just defenders, top 5 overall. Let that sink in. Thank you guys. See you next video.